Let's bring in the Hardball Roundtable tonight. Jamal Simmons, the Democratic strategist. Laura Bassett covers politics for the Huffington Post. And David Catney's the senior politics writer for U.S. News and World Report. Jamal, you first. I think I've laid it out. This guy's taken a lot of gifts. It seems to have a certain scent to it because we had this big Supreme Court case about his successor, or rather his predecessor down there.
Right. Apparently, according to Politico, he took gifts. He went to a donor's house in the Caribbean. He went to a basketball game, some other things. But in Virginia, these things are allowed in Virginia.
Explain to me the clothes thing. How does somebody give you clothes? I guess that's a hey, buddy, want some of my clothes? I got some clothes for you. It just seems like an odd gift for a friend. I can see a friend. Hey, want to go out for steak dinner tonight? That's one thing. Hey, come on out tonight. I'll buy you some clothes. It seems strange. Laura Bassett.
He over-reported the gift.
Does it smell?
I don't think it smells. He stayed at a friend's house in the Caribbean, paid for all his own expenses. He over-reported everything. Right. And he didn't do anything illegal. It's all within the bounds of.
So he's still in the running. Still in the running?
I think he's still in the running, but he's not the best choice.
David Catney.
He is the best choice, and he's still in the running, and he can overcome this.
Has he ever given you clothes?
He's never given me clothes.
Okay.
No, but look, I think he can overcome this if he is conciliatory, talks about reform, turns.
Well, does he have to say that was wrong of what he did?
No, he should stress that it was completely legal in Virginia.
Okay.
I mean, look, McDonald just got off because of all this.
My theory is the Democrats leaked this story, perhaps even Tim Kaine. They got to inoculate him if they're going to be vice president.
Okay, I don't think so. Anyway, a Kaine spokesperson tells Hardball, quote, during his 8 years as lieutenant governor and governor, Senator Kaine went beyond the requirements of Virginia law, even publicly disclosing gifts of value beneath the reporting threshold. He's confident he met both the letter and spirit of Virginia's ethical standards. Are Virginia's ethical standards good enough?
No.
Okay, good. Let's talk about Christie. Christie's involved with the bridge scandal. I mean, we've beaten the hell out of it here. Everybody on this network and everywhere else has beaten the hell of a story. It's a hell of a story. The cones did make sense. And he started off by saying, oh, yeah, I'm the guy that went out there and put the cones out there to stop the traffic. But it's a fact. They stopped traffic to make some kind of political message to somebody they didn't like, or they're trying to squeeze some mayor in Fort Lee. Is he still a credible candidate for vice president?
I recently spoke to a Trump aide who is urging against a Christie appointment, but told me that Christie's in the mix because Christie is in Trump's ear, and frankly, Christie wants it.
Okay, what about
a lot of people don't want it.
There's some time-relapse pills coming down the road here. All the people who are going to testify in these cases against them. So a lot of people out to squeal here that might point to him.
Right. It's certainly bad timing with the trial coming up in September. And I also just think Christie is a really dumb choice for Trump because it's basically Trump choosing his mirror image. I mean, Christie's a bombastic blowhard. He's from New Jersey. He doesn't help Trump pick up any constituents Trump didn't already have.
Why is it wrong to be from Jersey?
Because Trump's from New York. Trump already had a landslide win in New Jersey.
What, Jamal?
Well, he's double downing on attitude and
I was in Philly yesterday learning the perfect Philadelphia accent, and one of the words I looked for was attitude. Attitude.
Trump, Christie versus Clinton, Warren is quite a choice for the American people.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Do you think it's Warren?
I do think it's Warren.
Want to bet?
Because you got to get those. You got to get those Bernie voters on her side.
Now, I don't think she needs
them. Will you bet me?
I'll bet you.
Okay, I can't do it. It'll screw me up, but it screws up my comment. Yeah.
What's the question?
Let's go back to square one.
I think it's going to be Tim Kaine.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Tim Kaine, and I think Corker, Jeff Sessions, or a general for Trump. Trump has said he wants someone that can help him in Washington, right? Do something with Congress. Christie doesn't have any Washington
Corker makes sense. What do you think, Laura? You have a thought for our side?
I think Corker is a good choice for Trump. Probably the best choice.
Absolutely.
Second term now, right?
He should just go with Jeff Sessions, and let's just have Alabama all the way in there.
You have attitude. I know what you're doing. Back with the Hardball Roundtable, and Jamal, tell me something I don't know.
You know, I'm working with a group called Democracy in Color. They have Senate rankings for 5 Senate candidates in the DSCC on diversity, and they're ranking them, and a lot of donors are starting to pay attention to whether or not these rankings on diversity and how their outreach to the old Obama coalition, what it's going to stack up like.
How do you measure their diversity?
They're looking at what they're doing in terms of staff, consultants, how much money they're spending in field campaigns. They've got 5 different measures, are giving them stars, and donors are asking questions of politicians politicians about how they're campaigning.
Okay, great. Laura.
The National Republican Congressional Committee has this program called Young Guns that looks at up-and-coming people in the Republican Party, and the average age of the Young Guns this year is 49, and it includes...
You find that ludicrous, young lady. Yes,
and it includes a 74-year-old woman who worked in the Reagan administration, so they're clearly having trouble with
no spring chicken there, eh? Anyway, but why do they always use words guns? I think we don't use that anymore, guns.
Keeping in the theme of Veep stakes, I'm told that Kasich was on Trump's Veep list initially about a month ago. Then he went out publicly and said he wasn't interested, and he started trashing Trump, saying he wouldn't endorse him. So Trump removed him from the list.
Where's the surprise in that? If a guy starts dumping on you,
well, the surprise is that he was initially on the list,
I think you're right.
And now he's not. And now there's back channels between the two because they want his endorsement for the convention in Cleveland.
Ohio
because it's a big black guy if you don't have the sitting governor's
Ohio, as Tim Russell would say. Ohio is so important to both parties. Yeah. Anyway, Republicans can't win without it. Democrats can cut their heart out if they grab it.
You know it.
That's why Sherrod Brown makes so much sense. Anyway.